On today's show, Monster Hunter Wild's first title update is live, and we race to see who can beat this week's challenge arena the fastest. So don't forget your hot drinks as we ready up for this episode of the Palibros. What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 9 of the Palibros, a podcast where a group of friends get together to talk about anything and everything Monster Hunter. Of course, I'm one of your hosts, and the first to cart, Patrick Jovez. Alongside me, we have the hunting horn elitist, Max.
How's it going, everybody?
So tasty, Ryan.
Mushy.
And the mix-set maniac, Brian.
Hi there.
How you guys doing today? I feel like it's been a while.
There. I feel,
Gotta keep you guys on your toes.
I feel like you usually call on me third. So I was like, wait, what, me?
Yeah, I gotta,
oh, shit.
You know, gotta shake it up a little bit, keep you guys guessing and stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like it's been a long time since we recorded. Maybe about 2 weeks now.
Yeah. I'm missing it.
Yeah.
Normal time. I think hang out with y'all.
Last week I was pretty like front loaded with homework and stuff like that. I had a big ass project for my physics class, so I was like, plus it was a huge week for gaming news in general. It was Nintendo Switch 2, which we all still haven't got to talk about yet, but we will at some point. Probably not on this show, but yeah, lots of fun stuff going on. I also have some really big news, guys. I don't know if I know, Ryan, you probably can't see, but yeah, got the fucking Palico pillow.
Let's go,
dude.
And it's
look at the sides too.
Dude, look at the detail.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome. I love the color. The color's kind of.
What would you say? How does it come through in real life? The color of the background. So I see kind of like a cream white.
Yeah, it's like a cream.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And dude, yeah. I think the camera is doing it pretty good justice.
Nice.
It looks really good. It feels nice. I thought it would be harder, the pillow, so I still have to use that faux like mini Falcon Punch thing. Yeah. On top of like this, so I got to kind of like stack it, but it's nice. I like it. I just also like the idea of having a little cat just like nestled in the small of my back, so
that's what's punching you in the back.
Yeah, I like to imagine it's Alma. Now I just gotta wait for my Alma body pillow to come in, and then we're complete.
No, somebody stop this man.
I just imagine just sitting her behind you, just kind of like massage or something.
Yes, beat me like a drum. Start off the show, let's go ahead with a little bit of housekeeping for you. Starting April 8th through the 15th, you can earn more Arshan materials by hunting the Tempered Guardian Rathalos in the event quest King of a Faraway Sky. Located in the ruins of Wyveria, you must be HR 31+. Also from now until the 22nd, you can earn the Amstrigian Alpha headgear by hunting the Chemetries in the event quest When Do Chemetries Sing? Located in the Windward Plains, must be HR 9+. And lastly, you can earn an exclusive pendant by hunting a Doshugama in the challenge quest Doshugama of the Hollow. Located in the Wounded Hollow, must be HR 16 or plus to participate. Lastly, before we start the show, we have a new YouTube channel for the Palibros podcast. I've updated our logo and created a new dedicated channel for the Palibros content moving on from this point forward. You can get all video versions of the podcast, our full unedited hunt / roguelike challenges, as well as many fun shorts for your viewing pleasure. With that being said, this is the last piece of content for the Palibros that will be published on my main YouTube page. So please, 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 please go ahead and subscribe to the new channel at youtube.com/@thepalibros so you don't miss out on any of the Monster Hunter fun we're going to be having moving forward. The link will be in the description in the video below. And with all that being said, let me remind you that this is the Palibros podcast, where each and every episode we try to keep you up to date on the latest Monster Hunter news, play Monster Hunter trivia, and in general talk about one of our favorite franchises. So don't forget, you can get each and every episode on youtube.com/@thepalibros, Spotify, and a variety of other podcast services for your listening pleasure. And if you like what we do, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing this episode with friends, and hitting that bell icon to help support us and to know when each of the latest episodes are posted. With all that out the way, let's begin our show with the latest in Monster Hunter news. Today in Monster Hunter news, we have one story. The new Monster Hunter Wilds update brings a monster so fierce, fans have gone from calling the game too easy to asking, "What the hell is even that?" This article comes by way of GamesRadar.com and is written by Anna Koselk. As Capcom finally releases its long-awaited first free update for Monster Hunter Wilds, fans discover one of the action RPG's new beasts is anything but easy to take down. The first major milestone on Monster Hunter Wilds' roadmap has just been reached, with the hotly anticipated Title 1 update dropping earlier today. Of course, this was earlier when the title update dropped. The massive patch brings monsters like Mizutsune to the game, along with a grand hub and brand new arena quests. It also marks a turning point for fans who worried that Monster Hunter Wilds is too easy, thanks to the return of Zoh Shia, the action RPG's first final boss. This higher ranked Zoh Shia is proving to be quite a behemoth to overcome, with one Reddit thread highlighting as much as, "Monster Hunter Wilds is too easy my ass." Read the original poster's thoughts. "What the hell was that?" Attached is a screenshot showing the new Zoh Shia's carcass, with hundreds of comments in agreement with the OP following. "Yep, this thing is no joke," a fellow player replies. "Just attempted it for the first time and failed." So yeah, it looks like they've been kind of hyping up the new challenge that was going to be coming with the Title 1 update, and it came in the form of a even more, I guess, hard-hitting Zoh Shia, and we all got to play it when the update dropped on the 4th. So how do you guys like it? What do you guys think in terms of difficulty? It's a baby game, huh?
Game.
You didn't cart once, I see.
Try, by the way.
Yeah,
we did. Yeah, we split up into two groups to beat it, and it looks like we had two separate experiences. Well, slightly different experiences.
Yeah, we had a group of 5 that night, so we kind of split up. But we'll go ahead and splice that into the video portion of it. Yeah, I think Ryan and Max, you guys were a 2-man team for that fight the first time, right?
We were very comfortable on it. I think, like, I didn't feel like pressed at all.
Mm-hmm.
I did card on it eventually. We did it a couple more times by joining other people, and then I definitely got caught out a couple times where I'm like, it's some of its uber attacks in the vein of the Jindahad are like so massive that you're like, I can probably survive this if I get behind this piece of cover, or am I like far enough away?
Right.
But yeah, I got caught out on the flame attack once, and I was like, oh, whoops.
Yeah.
I have to take this super seriously now. So yeah, not too troublesome, but you do have to actually like lock in and focus.
More so than any other monster in this game, right?
Well, also, I mean, it was like Max was hunting horn and I was bow, so kind of not cheesy, but like a lot easier than great sword or some other stuff where you really have to like sit in like the danger zone the whole time,
Mm-hmm.
So
were you running Rathian Healing Horn at the time, Max? Do you remember?
I believe I was, yeah, which is a pretty big game changer for keeping people alive on some of these hunts. Having fought both of the tempered Mizutsune, the T5 and the Zoh Shia a bunch of times at this point. I personally feel like the tempered Mizutsune is a more difficult fight.
Really?
I think like the explosions,
I agree with that.
are large for the Zoh Shia, but all the attacks have a lot of wind up, and once you kind of figure out where you need to be standing and where its attacks are going to be, I feel like you have plenty of time to get out of the way. Mizutsune can move pretty fast, and I've seen a lot of like Reddit posts of people getting one shot on their secret as they're coming into the area. Like, what just happened?
They all grab you.
People finding out that gunner armor is different than blade master armor with like the damage reduction difference.
Okay. Really quick, what HR would you guys say you guys were around when you guys tried the Zoh Shia? You guys are well over 100, right?
I think around 115-ish.
115-ish? Okay.
Yeah, I'd say probably about like 130 maybe.
The only reason I ask is because I am the one with the least amount of time in the game. I broke the level cap about maybe like a week after everyone else did. And I'm still like, what, HR's... I think I'm HR like 69 or 70 now. And when I fought the Zoh Shia, I was taking all the carts. Luckily, like, Brian is used to that, so we took it in stride. But it was fun.
Are you guys maxed out on armor? Because when I was fighting him, I only had 2 of my like 5 like totally maxed out. So that probably made a difference. But I'm also leaving some defense on the table, obviously. So maybe it'll be absolutely necessary for the Arch Tempered Ray Dao. Because if these fools are hitting this hard, I don't know.
Just don't get hit. You'll be fine.
Well, Mizutsune is unique, right? Right. It's like it's really hard, and we didn't have 100 hours with it in the way that we have with the Zoh Shia or the Ray Dao. Like, even though the Arch Tempered Ray Dao is going to hit like 2 or 3 or 4 trucks, not just a truck, it's going to be similar in its windup and its the way it telegraphs things. So I don't know. The Arch Tempered Ray Dao might not be as menacing as like a tempered Mizutsune, but just because we have a lot more familiarity with it, and generally it's pretty slow. Like it doesn't chain together stuff. I mean, I think also people are getting wrecked by the Zoh Shia because that thing will turn on a dime to snipe the guy healing in the corner. Like the downtime between attacks is crazy. So it's pretty brutal getting that hit by that fireball from literally the opposite side of the arena, and the AoE is just so massive you can't even dodge out of it.
I think there's also something to be said that we do have less playtime with the Zoh Shia just because it's the final boss of the game. So after you get through that,
why did you make it so that we can't fight this thing over and over again? We gotta join random people. That's the worst part about this update for sure.
But yeah, like, I think because we don't get as many looks as we can with just regular quests and stuff like that, it's definitely a lot more of a, not gimmick, but like, we just don't get to get that muscle memory of fighting it like we usually do with all the other monsters. So that's probably why we're all getting wrecked. Well, most of us are getting wrecked at the beginning. But yeah, it's nice that we get to fight it again. I thought it would be some sort of different monster. I was hoping it would be maybe a new monster, but Zoh Shia, I think you guys called it out in one of our earlier episodes, is probably going to be the Zoh Shia because we didn't really see it other than the final boss. So good on you guys for calling that out. Any other comments?
I would say I like the plan or kind of the movement going forward for their content coming after the vanilla game. So the difficulty, the damage, the health pool seems more up to, I won't say our standards, but just more going on and a little bit more meat to it that makes the hunts go much more exciting. So I'm hoping that what they do with Zoh Shia and just the amount of times it's able to like chain attacks and like Ryan was saying, redirect its focus on, you never know, it could be aiming at somebody and then literally do a 180 and then like start shooting at someone behind him. I hope we start to see more of that like level of aggression or kind of pacing in some of the updates coming for other monsters. So I think it was a good move and a nice next step for the content. And yeah, I look forward to doing more of it.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I carded a whole bunch. I think it took me and Brian 2 tries when we first did it, and it was, like I said, is because we didn't get that many looks. Also, I'm severely under leveled. Like, I just broke the level cap, didn't put any armor spheres or any kind of defense. I'm literally just coming off like regular high rank stuff.
Maybe if you would talk to Nata, you'd have good armor.
I'm not gonna do that. Alma not gonna do that.
Oh my god! Wait, are you Jar Jar Binks?
He's trying hard.
But yeah, I actually enjoyed carding a lot this time around because like, yes, like it's hard and stuff like that, but it like I did miss the challenge of like past Monster Hunter games where there would be certain monsters, wouldn't even be certain monsters, but it would just be like, oh, you don't have enough armor pieces to kind of like fight this monster, so let's go ahead and grind this monster who's lower here so that you get your setup and stuff like that. And this kind of reminds me of that, of being like, okay, here's like the first like skill check, okay, go back, get your set ready and stuff like that, come back to this, then you can start wrecking it. And so it kind of reminds me of that kind of grind from the past, and that's what I kind of like about it, and I'm looking forward to more implementation of monsters like this in the future. Definitely excited for when G rank happens, because then we get to really play around with all the things that we know and love from the Monster Hunter series. But as of right now, like, this is a good start for me. Like, now I have something. Now, even though I didn't do like, I'm not like HR 100 and stuff like that, I have something to kind of look forward to if I could only find this freaking monster in the world overview map when the time comes. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
I'm curious how many people out there this update is too much. Like, for us who've been playing the series for a long time, like, something like the Tempered Mizutsune like hits very hard, and we might look at that and be like, yes, this is the challenge that we want. For people that are starting in Wilds, this is like potentially a pretty big departure from anything that they've been asked to do up until this point. I mean, like, the monsters kind of hit hard, but I don't know, like the combination of like the slippery move set and how hard damaging Mizutsune is, like, is this too much for some people? And if they're going to continue to ramp up the difficulty in each of the title updates, then I wonder at what point people might feeling alienated by the content. Like when Alatrion comes, like Finn World, for example, something that asks for something.
I would say
from the hunters, and people were really put off by it.
Go ahead, Red.
I would say that it's better to have this level of stuff, not just for our sake, but just in general. Like, the game's difficulty level is kind of like one note. Like, there's just not a lot of variety and difficulty levels in the game. So, to have something like super hard is allows them to kind of cater to some of the more hardcore people like us, because there's plenty of like easy to medium difficulty stuff in the game already. So I hear what you're saying, but I think that their problem is the opposite right now, and I mean, that's the point of the article that Pat brought up, is like people like did a 180 on this because they're like baby game, and they're like, oh shit, this is actually hard. So there's plenty of content if you want to like just kind of feel that power fantasy of big sword smack big dragon, but for people who actually want to challenge themselves, there's not a whole lot. So now that we've gotten through most of the content, there's nothing really to grind for, or really like you sink your teeth into, like Pat said.
Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, they're never going to be able to make everyone happy.
Yeah.
And I mean, there is plenty of content, but for the people that are like older gamers, or maybe out of whatever reason, people that are not as skilled, they might feel upset by the fact that everything does feel like it's not their ramp of difficulty going through the game. But just telling people like, hey, this is all the new stuff is just, if you want to play easy content, then play the base game. All the new stuff isn't for you. Like, that's kind of a hard pill to swallow potentially. But I just think they can't really win either way, because all of the veterans that have been grinding the game nonstop are clamoring for newer, harder stuff to do, and maybe the most casual players are going to be left behind.
I mean, I think this is kind of, sorry to cut you off, but I think this is kind of what we come back to from earlier episodes, where it was like the argument of who do we cater towards? Like, do we try to expand our new audience and stuff like that, or do we cater towards the hardcore? And like we said, like I said before, it was like, okay, we already got the hardcore's money. Like, you already got us. Yes, we're going to be clamoring for that challenge and stuff like that, but the whole point of selling games is to make the most money possible, and that's from bringing new people in. Whether I can say or not the new people are going to feel alienated, that's up to time to tell. But I think that having the option to take on these things like this is a good goal for people to want to kind of strive for. And by the point that, like, if they all of a sudden, like the most casual of casuals, are they still playing Monster Hunter as hardcore, like, today as, like, you know, veteran hunters or hunters that are looking for that challenge? I don't know. But I think the important point of it is that it sold 8 million in the first 3 days, and now it's currently over 10 million and climbing. So
I also think that, I'm not going to talk too much longer, but I also think that it's helpful that for something like Tempered Mizutsune, at least, there's nothing exclusive to fighting Tempered Mizutsune. Like, you can get all the armor and craft all the stuff fighting normal Mizutsune, and the only thing that you get out of it for investigations is just like a shared pool with the other sort of highest tier monsters. So I guess for a casual player, they don't have to do Tempered Mizutsune if they want to sort of experience the content.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, again, I just think that, like, saying that the thing is, like, it's free. Like, if the DLC kind of Iceborne adjacent thing, like, is that way and it's only meant for, like, super hardcore, then I think that's a problem. Yeah. I think, like, as far as, like, free stuff, then they get to kind of I think, be a little bit more just, like, intentional with their stuff, and, like, not trying to, like, please as many people. Like, it's more acceptable for them to, like, you know, cater to the more niche hunters, if it's free.
Yeah, like they have the ability to kind of just,
like, if people paid $40 for it and they got their ass kicked or whatever, then yeah, that's a problem. And, like, and if, like, no one's having fun and they paid money for it, but, like, this is literally just free. Yeah. So I think that's kind of where the line of this line is for me. It's just like, if something's free, then, you know, I'm not as worried about the quality of it. Mm-hmm. And we just so happen to be the beneficiaries of it as people looking for something more challenging.
I would also like to see, like, concurrent players from before the update and then after, like, maybe a week or two after, which kind of where we're at now, or like a weekend, just to see, like, what does the actual drop off, if there is any drop off, kind of look like because of this new update. Or, you know, I mean, there's only so much numbers can tell you without actually taking polls of, like, why people stop the game. So it would just be interesting to kind of see the tail of the tape, so to say.
I'm sure there's some people who don't even treat it as a multiplayer game. Like, they're just happy off on their own, you know, journey, just kind of treating it as a single player. And then once they beat the game, there's probably not much more reason to keep going, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And there's, you know, there's other games to be played out there. So there's a whole bunch of different factors in to see. But yeah, I would like to see, like, down in the comments below, if you guys, like, how do you guys like the new Title 1 update, and how do you guys like the new difficulty in the Zoh Shia fight? And
vote down below who is right, me or Max, or me.
I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think that's good to kind of see it from all different perspectives and stuff like that. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of this podcast, is kind of to talk about every kind of angle of it, or, you know, things that may come to light that are true for you aren't true for someone else. So I think, I appreciate all the different angles that we kind of look at it. So yeah. With all that being said, that is it for Monster Hunter news. And of course, if you hear that sound, it means we're all readied up for the topic of the show, which actually we have two main topics. But first, let's go ahead and start with our first topic. Monster Hunter Wild's first title update is now live, and we're going to talk even more about it. Other than the Zoh Shia fight, there is the big update to having an actual online multiplayer hub called the Grand Hub, which I think we're all pretty excited about when it first dropped. We all kind of we all got together, got to Suja, talked to the dude with the nipple on his head, and then we kind of just waited at the bridge together, and we kind of did our first look and entered through the gates together, and it was pretty cool. I think, honestly, I wasn't even hamming it up. I was excited just running around, seeing a new giant open area that kind of felt like past Monster Hunters. Usually we just go straight into the grand or a central hub and let's go hunt monsters and stuff. But it's pretty cool seeing all the different activities and all the just kind of, it feels like a more lived in area than just the Windward Plains desert or the small little caves of just NPCs and stuff like that. It feels definitely more Monster Hunters. It reminds me of Poke Village in the background, right there. It's livelier. But yeah, what do you guys think?
Yeah,
I was literally giddy.
Yeah, definitely.
We were all excited. But I like how much energy there is. You kind of touched on that. It feels like no matter what I'm doing, there's always either some NPC walking around and little mini Easter eggs and things to find and see, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a little bit. But it's also really nice that when you do have 20 plus people also in there moving around, sitting down, eating food, really enjoyed it. And I'm really happy that we were able to kind of go into it blind and see it as blind as we could given the trailers, but do it all as a group.
Yeah, definitely.
I personally find that I haven't actually been using it that much yet. I like the Grand Hub a lot, but I feel like the whole gameplay loop is very much centered on it sort of being an open world, going from the camp to the environment. If you're doing a lot of crown farming or going out and looking at stuff with binoculars, you pretty much have to be out in the areas separate. It's the Grand Hub is totally separate from everything else in the game. And maybe at a point where I'm not hunting for crowns or doing field surveys, where when you finish the field survey, it just kind of leaves you out in the environment and then got to go back to the Grand Hub. Eventually, if you're just grinding out investigations, if you have a full quest log and you're just doing arena quests or something, then it's kind of cool to just hang out there. I like the vibe, but from a gameplay perspective, I kind of find myself just going to the normal camps as usual. I guess maybe that's just what I'm used to.
It doesn't make you go to the Grand Hub, right?
Yeah, there's nothing that requires you to be in the Grand Hub other than doing arena quests, or if you want to do the barrel bomb bowling, which I'm awful at, by the way.
You need to be there for the diva buff.
Yeah.
Do we know what that buff does?
Apparently it's plus 50 health, plus 25 stamina, and then some other attack boosts and stuff.
That doesn't stack with food buffs though, right?
So I was wondering. Yeah, I was wondering the same thing.
So you get, like Ryan said, it's like taking a well-done steak. You get the health bonus and the stamina bonus. You get a mega demon drug and an armor skin worth of buff for your attack and defense. The health and stamina buff, of course, does not stack with food skills, and if you were to consume something like a mega armor skin or try to consume another demon drug, it would overwrite it or just not change anything.
Really quick,
what's the duration? What's the duration on it?
I think it's about the same as whatever your stake would be, or it's not. I don't. It's harder now to determine it because I know things don't last to the end of a quest like they used to. It's just kind of on a window, so I don't actually know the timer on it.
Really quick, for the people who don't know, could you explain the mega demon drug and armor skin, Brian?
Yeah. So it's a consumable item that you can craft. I believe it's combining something like a might seed and someone else might have to help me with what the other
we haven't done it in so long
combo is.
Yeah.
But might seed and I believe adamant seed can be combined with some items to create a general demon drug or armor skin, and then you can combine that with like a catalyst of some form to make a mega version of each. And they effectively provide you with something like a plus 10, plus 15 attack or so on like a demon drug. And then for armor skin, I think it's something like plus 15 defense and then me plus 25 defense on the mega. So really good to consume those if you know you're going into a hunt that's either going to be harder or you just want to shave off a couple milliseconds of time on your clears. It's always worth going into your combo list and just trying to make something like that.
Yeah. I remember those were like staples in my bag back in like Freedom Unite and all the games leading up to I think I stopped doing it around probably World, actually. I remember making a whole bunch of Mega Demons and Mega Armor skins along with bringing Power Talons and stuff like that to just like min-max everything that I could. But as the games have kind of gone on, it didn't seem like a necessity anymore. But yeah, I mean, it's always good to kind of like play around with stuff like that, and the actual presentation of like the diva singing, it's kind of cool. Like the first time around,
I nailed it.
Yeah, she does 2 songs. She does 2 performances, right?
She does 2 performances. I was incorrect when I told you that last night that the performances were different. It's the same song. She just does it once during, going into nighttime, and then also upon sunrise, she'll do the same song again. Okay.
Damn. So she's just singing the greatest hit.
Yeah.
It's the actual song is what the main theme of Wilds right now. Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
I actually never made that connection.
Really?
I assumed it was just kind of a I mean, you know me with music. That's like an inside joke for our group. But yeah, it's just cool that it's that Wyverian, non-language that they used for it was really cool. But I will go back and listen to the title track of the song of the game, and I'll come back to you with my mind blown. How about that?
Jesus. The reason why this is so funny is because Brian actually loves rhythm games, but we found out that he isn't rhythmic, I guess. He's doing it all by
rhythmically challenged.
He's doing it by eyesight,
visuals.
By visuals. So I'm like, what the hell is that? Like, you could see it and you could do the beat, but like, ask him to like, I don't know what. I think you had your cousins like give you like a maraca or something. You're supposed to shake it along with like the beat at one point, and you just failed horribly.
And I can't claim to be a true rhythm game enjoyer. I know Max just sitting there going,
Max is like
relying on the visuals.
He's literally playing DJ Max 2 right now on his other screen.
Yeah. So I'm a casual. I just played the very visually focused Technica Tune DJ Max series on my Vita. So can't claim to be a true fan.
Yeah. What about you, Ryan? What do you think about you said you were giddy when we first popped into the Grand Hub.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just, like you said, it's so much it's so reminiscent of, some of these like other, Monster Hunter experiences and what we would probably consider to be staple experiences. So, I was definitely glad to be in a space like that. But I never really complained. I never really felt like Wilds was like
barren,
something like that. I suppose. Yeah. I mean, I was accepting and understanding that like this new game had its own thing going on, and I didn't. To me, it wasn't like vital that they make a analog for some of the gathering hubs. It is nice to have it back, and I do love the extra kind of like the cheesiness. Like you had kind of made this observation a couple times, Pat, how like the silliness from the game is a little bit gone. So there is a little bit of that in the gathering hub, which I appreciate. Like you are actually able to arm wrestle again and like drink with your buddies, and I don't know, it just had a great feel to it. Although I will corroborate Max's experience by saying that I have also not really used it since. So I don't know.
I mean, so I feel the exact same way Max does, and I guess you do too. Like it was never 100% necessary to put this in, but I actually really enjoy the fact that it is in there, because just for that first night alone,
for the title, for the free update, it's a perfect thing.
I mean, the thing is, like, even if I never am like traveling in there or using it as like my base of operations to go do hunts and stuff like that. The fact that it's still there, that we could go fuck around with our friends, and like the first thing we did, we all gathered around like the like chef's table or the dinner table. We all started drinking, and I was like, okay, let's just start.
I couldn't figure it out. I was so bummed. I felt like a pariah, dude. I'm like, what button is it?
You were the DD that day.
It doesn't show me. It didn't show me on the thing. Like everyone else, it like gave a little like hint in the corner, and for me, it did not show any sort of like hint. So
yeah, but I'm like,
the old-fashioned way.
It was fun because we kind of like got to run around. We got to the dinner table, and like, you know, me, like my biggest thing was like, okay, can we get drunk in this game? Because that's gonna like shoot this from like an 8 to like an 11 on a 10-point scale for me. Like, unfortunately, we weren't able to get drunk. Sadly, I think those days are kind of over. But you know, there was other things to do, like barrel bomb bowling, which like Max, I'm horrible at. Didn't stop me and Brian from trying to steal the barrel bombs and walk like everywhere with them and start throwing them at random NPCs and stuff like that. I think, yeah, it was never completely necessary to put this in. Probably not going to use it most of the time, but I think that the implementation of it is like spot on, because it is the place you go to just after you guys are done hunting and you guys don't want to turn the game off or something like that. There's a couple little fun, stupid little things you guys can do to just have fun with the game in another way. Barrel bomb bowling is a perfect example of doing that. Arm wrestling was huge when we first started. I was popping off.
Yeah, I understand the mechanic now.
All right.
Hey, Pat, come back here.
All right.
Oh, he wants a rematch.
Now that I actually know the controls.
That's not gonna do.
He's gonna smash the fuck out of X and circle now.
Shit.
Just smash. It's almost like what we used to do when we were catching Pokemon. It's like when we were catching Pokemon.
Oh, it's good.
Fuck out of my house, boy! Fuck out of my hub! Get the fuck out of my hub! Delete Nata. Where's the Nata files?
Get this.
You know, and there's actual mechanics that tells you how to actually do it now. So now we're not kind of just wondering why I'm beating Brian's ass like 10 times in a row.
Even with my dryer sheet.
I know. Yeah, the songs, just like I said, is like the livelihood of the whole place is nice. Being able to have fun and do different things with your friends other than just just farm monsters for the stuff that you need and stuff like that. It's definitely a welcome addition. Also, we got a couple of free emotes, and me and Brian got to actually play with those last night when we were just doing a couple quests. Yeah, the emotes are back, most of them. My what is it called? My kickback isn't here yet, but hopefully. I think, Max, you were, when we were all listening to the Diva sing, you were throwing up a couple emotes. Were those the new ones?
I don't know if those are the new ones.
Oh,
It was like someone like the little the shinobi emotes. I don't know if those came with the deluxe edition or if it was in like the new.
Oh, I think those were
pack.
the ones that came with the deluxe edition, but you were able to just download them for free because you got the deluxe, right?
Well, the deluxe edition came with the cosmetic pass.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, so you would have to usually pay for that
all
one.
the stickers and the sacred armor and
Yeah. So if you didn't get the deluxe edition, you would buy the cosmetic pass. Excuse me, and you'd be able to get those. But you were throwing them like, I think at some point I'll put it in here, but we're all zoomed out from different angles watching the Diva, and we're all kind of just like, you know, waving along while she sings, and you see Max just his horns just like levitating up and down. Yeah, it was super fun. Definitely was super excited for the hub to come here. But yeah, I know we kind of talked about the Zoh Shia, but let's talk about the kind of big title update monster was the Mizutsune. We touched a little bit on it, but like, yeah, how did you guys like the Mizutsune? I know that's a pretty big fan favorite monster, and now it's the first title update monster in the first ever kind of DLC for Monster Hunter Wilds. So yeah, and like it's here. Like, people have been clamoring for it, and you know, what do you guys think?
It was probably my favorite monster from Rise, so that's definitely, you know, got me pretty hyped. I wasn't expecting it to, when they first announced it, I wasn't expecting it to be tempered, when they kind of teased it in the thing. And so that's been challenging, but like a fun, revelation to like try to get good, basically. So I've been really, really enjoying Mizutsune, especially because I don't know, I just don't feel like I've carded that much in this game. So it's honestly kind of fun to like get your butt kicked a little bit and just like get bodied by these things, because they should be. They're like giant ancient monsters, and it's like they should be kicking my ass.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, really enjoying the fight so far. I think Mizutsune was one of my favorites from Rise, and makes it high up on the list for this game as well, as far as like how much I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, definitely.
I have been really enjoying it as well. I like how it's implemented in Wilds. I like the moveset. It really feels very soapy and slippery as it slides around.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's an interesting decision that they incorporated Soul Seer Mizutsune into the base Mizutsune.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
It makes me wonder if or when they introduce other monsters like Diablos or Zinogre,
Mm-hmm.
if they're also going to be incorporating elements from the Apex monsters into sort of the base movesets for those monsters. It could be interesting if they do so. I mean, I'm really looking forward to other Leviathans like Lagiacrus, because it seems like we're really able to make that sort of Leviathan body type work really well in this game. Between like the Balahara and the Mizutsune, like they both feel like they're animating very well and interacting with the environment very well. So I'm excited to see upcoming monsters as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of those points, primarily just how it's incorporating some of those Apex movesets. For some reason, I was thinking it was only in the tempered fight, but that's not true, right? You'll see like the normal Mizutsune do some of the cool blue flame kind of shooting out of one side of its face. But I thought that would always be kind of a unique mechanic, as if tempered versions or certain other versions, arch tempered, you could like incorporate maybe more move sets or things from their Apex variants. But yeah, it is a unique way to do it. It is a little bit of a bummer because, I mean, when we had the actual Apex monsters, you had different armor sets and weapons, and in this case, we technically don't. But it does make the monster feel a little bit more fully realized, which is cool. Really love it's just so cool to see some of these monsters that we're used to seeing in portable games kind of brought up to the more standard high def treatment. And Mizutsune is looking really, really good. And yeah, it moves so fast. And I think that's why I do agree with a lot of what was said earlier by some folks here, that we're all in agreement for the most part that Mizutsune is kind of the more fun, difficult fight between the new high rank Zoh Shia and this new monster. It hits as hard as Zoh Shia does, but delivers those hits way faster and can be pretty erratic. So it's been fun. I've been enjoying getting to do that, and I hope we can see some more of those faded form monsters like I've talked about in the past. Please bring me Gameth. I want to see her back.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like, I love the actual presentation of like getting into the hunt for the Mizutsune. You know, they kind of I think you talked to Kanaya or something like that in like that fishing area in one of the base camps in the Scarlet Forest, and then go hunt this thing, and you see like the Doshugama show up. Oh, okay, like, I mean, we already know what it's gonna be, but like, I like that. I love the monster cutscenes. Like, that's the coolest part for me. Like, it shows so much personality and stuff like that. You see kind of it's like silhouette or like shadow like rise behind like the Doshugama, and then the Doshugama like turns around, which I like. Now that we're getting closer into like the cutscenes, or like closer into like the facial capture of like the monsters and stuff like that, I did not know where the thing's eyes were. So when we get that close, I'm like, oh, like they were like fucking tiny. And so like seeing it turn around, and then seeing this, like, you don't even see the Mizutsune because it's like super fast and agile and stuff like that. And then yeah, that whole cutscene is super cool. They end up getting hit with bubbles and stuff like that, and like Alma's does the whole like, oh, by order of the guild, while she's like slipping around. She's like, just go fucking do this. I'm dealing with this shit over here.
The cutscene was great.
Yeah,
I forgot how great that her like tripping around was.
Yeah, and the presentation of it is super cool. The fight itself is great. Yeah, the thing that's great about Monster Hunter Wilds is like everything animates super well. Everything feels super realized, and so like seeing the way Mizutsune kind of moves and like kind of twists and like slithers around and stuff kind of reminds me very much of if for those who are used to watching like Street Fighter Third Strike, it reminds me of how Chun-Li kind of jumps. Like her jump animation is very like detailed. Like she does like a 360 spin with her jump, and it's very like when you watch everyone else, it's just kind of like regular Street Fighter jump. It's like, oh, they kind of just curl into a ball and flip and stuff like that. Even though that game is beautifully animated, like they did extra work into Chun-Li's stuff, and that's what kind of reminds me of with Mizutsune. Like you'll see it kind of like jump and then spin and then curl up, and it's very like every single like frame of that is beautiful, and then it like wrecks you with some sort of tail whip or some shit like that. But yeah, the moveset's fun. I haven't had enough time to actually play this whole thing, but like I was interested to have you guys tried making any armor sets or any of the weapons from the Mizutsune yet?
I did. Yeah, I made the leg armor piece. It is most likely going to be best in class for a while. It does come with a level 3 slot and 2 points in burst, which is very, very efficient.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it as a general armor piece for mixing into sets. The weapons have a unique weapon skill. I think it's called Slicked Blade or something like that. I might need to be corrected on the naming. But it gives you an affinity bonus if you are either wet or going through Bubble Blight.
That's what you were doing last night.
Bubble Blight being correct. So I did craft the Mizutsune heavy bowgun, and Pat and I happened to be just fighting a tempered Lullabarina like in the river of the Scarlet Forest, and we're just like, oh, it's perfect. I'm getting like 6% affinity bonus or something just from being wet, and it was fun.
Dave, I didn't know that you like to get wet.
But their weapons, I don't think, are going to be really changing up the meta anytime soon. They're not kind of best in class in that sense.
Yeah. Oh, it would be kind of unfair too. Yeah, go ahead.
So Shia had that really interesting skill that looked kind of like almost maybe replacing the nerf for the corruption mantle, but people did some number crunching on it, and apparently it's not that good. It's like 50 damage or something, like cap, or it's like always 50 damage, which isn't terrible, but you know, you could get some really high damage with the corruption mantle, getting that second and third hit. So I'm not a huge like number cruncher with Monster Hunter, but I'll trust everyone else who did the math and said,
Yeah, and you can up it with
they look great.
I think from the Rathalos set up to does like a little over 100 damage per tick on each of those procs, but with Scorcher too. But I don't think it's worth the investment.
Yeah, because usually you're giving up other stuff. Again, I'm still rocking the Guardian Arcfield stuff that heals me when I break wounds and stuff. I don't know, that's hard to give up.
All right, I think that's all we have for our first main topic. And let's go ahead and move on to our second main topic, which is, you know, we're all going to go ahead and race to see who can complete this week's challenge quest the fastest. For those who don't know or haven't played much of the Title 1 update, challenge quests are done via the arena quest counter in the middle of the Grand Hub. This is where you can accept different arena quests / free challenge quests, which are up to 4 players with your own builds, or for today's purposes, the challenge quest, which is up to 2 players with a predetermined loadout. Specifically for this challenge quest, it is going to be done solo, so we can see who can complete the challenge the fastest out of the 4 of us. This week's challenge, once again, is the Hunt the Doshugama in the challenge quest Doshugama of the Hollow, located in the Wounded Hollow, and upon completion we can earn an exclusive pendant. It must be HR 16 plus to participate. This week's challenge can be done with one of 6 weapons. There's the Greatsword, the Bow, the Hunting Horn, Lance, Insect Glaive, and the Heavy Bowgun. I'm going to put it up to the group. Do you guys want to... for me, since I'm not proficient in any of these weapons, I'm going to go ahead and refer back to the wheel that we did in episode 8 for our Monster Hunter roguelike episode, I'm going to go ahead and spin the wheel and do a random weapon from there just to see what I get. And I'll go ahead and do my solo challenge quest with that weapon. But what about you guys? Do you guys want to pick? Yeah, I see hunting horn, I see lance, I see greatsword and bow. And you guys all use bowgun as well, I believe. So yeah, like it's up to you guys. What do you guys want to do the wheel as well?
I mean, if you're gonna do it, I'm down.
Okay,
I'll spin.
I'm up for the spin as well.
all right. It's gonna be a little mix of Monster Hunter roguelikes and the challenge quest then. So Brian, if you could go ahead and bring up the wheel for us.
You got it.
Perfect. All right. Let's go ahead and spin first for you, Brian.
Okay.
Out
let's
of the
see what I
6,
get.
what do you want?
I would like to get either heavy bowgun or lance. Those being the 2 that I'm most proficient at. Knowing my luck, I will most likely get insect glaive. Let's give it a shot. Ooh. I'm gonna be a hunting horn main. Let's go. Max, quick. I need a
Mac, yeah,
tutorial.
any 10-second tips from Brian, Max?
Better learn how to play your songs.
All right, I got this. Sounds good. All right, who's next?
Go ahead, Max.
I will go next.
Okay, here we go. Oh, is it finally gonna happen?
Oh, shit.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Insect glaive. Congrats, man.
that's the one
Congrats,
weapon.
he says.
Okay. Let's go
I've been
ahead.
practicing, so I think I might be all right.
Oh, okay. There we
Yes.
go.
Good.
Ryan, you could go ahead, but before we do that, which of the weapons do you want the most, and which do you want the least?
Give me that insect glaive, baby.
Oh,
That's what I want the
shit.
most.
Okay. He wants the challenge.
And by that, I'm
He's doing the
I'm just
RNG.
trying to-
I know.
I'm trying to reverse the
Desire
desire
detector.
detector.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets it. All right, well, let's see what you get. What is that?
Oh, what the
He got the magic
He got
pixel.
the fucking. That's. Oh my god, we gotta zoom in on that. We need to
recount.
Holy
hold
shit.
on. Oh my
Recount.
god, we need a
Dude,
Buffalo
what?
Wild Wings like timeout. What the hell?
I need more pixels, man. 1440p.
Oh my
I can't
goodness, that's so crazy. He just
Oh my
lucked
God.
out and ended up getting the bow, which this was
Insane.
pretty much one of your main weapons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I literally got bow last time too, so
Oh yeah, that's
tell.
right.
the reverse desire detector works.
Okay.
It saved you.
All right.
What do you want, and what do you want least?
I have a feeling I'm going to get a hunting horn or insect glaive. Out of the two, I probably would fare better with an insect glaive, but I am cautiously optimistic to actually try the hunting horn. So if I do get it, it's gonna be a shit show, but I'm down for it. Go ahead and spin me.
Let's see.
Oh, I got, okay. I got the heavy bowgun. Not bad. I feel like that would. Okay, predictions. Now that we all have our weapons, who do you think is gonna take the cake?
I think Ryan.
I think that's pretty much.
Yeah,
a
I think that's
guarantee at
pretty
this
much a
point.
guarantee, right? he has the best chance. He
No
knows his
pressure.
He's
weapons.
the home field advantage for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
100%. Now, for audio listeners, just like in previous episodes, we're going to put up our footage of the hunt for the video viewers, but that doesn't mean you're going to miss out. We're going to have our post-hunt clarity report playing over the hunting footage so you can listen in on all our thoughts about the hunt, and the entire hunt will also be uploaded to the new YouTube channel, youtube.com/@thepalibros. Everything from this point forward, well, after this episode, everything from this point forward is going to be to the new YouTube channel. So you'll still get this episode and the hunt, and then after. You get the idea. But you get to hear our commentary in real time during our challenge. We'll go ahead and do our post-hunt report, clarity report after, and same thing that we do with all the hunts when it comes to our main topics. So yeah, we'll go ahead and move on over to our hunts. I'll put them up on the screen here, each of our individual ones. One thing, because Ryan's on PS5, he's having weird issues with being able to capture his footage, so he'll just go ahead and join us on the hunter report, give us his final time at the end, so we don't know who's in the lead or anything like that. But you will be seeing me, Brian, and Max's gameplay simultaneously on your screen for those who are our video viewers. So just give us 1 sec. We'll go ahead and pop on over and we'll get that started for you. All right, guys, we made it back from our individual challenge quest hunts, and we made it. We all survived, and let's go ahead and start off with Ryan. Like, how did you feel during the fight? What first of all, what did you use, and how did you feel with it?
I mean, I got lucky. I got the bow, which I'm already proficient at. I have spent a lot of time playing this game, but apparently not a lot of time in the arena, because basically at the very end I was like, oh yeah, I guess I can technically up my stamina and up my all this other stuff. So I was kind of going in handicapped a little bit. I don't want to make too many excuses. I would say that the biggest downfall of trying to use bow as your primary, even though I'm good with it, is it's really hard to attack when you have aggro. As you guys saw, I'm getting a little dinky hit off and then having to dodge roll, and then getting a baby hit and then dodge rolling. So it's just not best at super close range unless you have the close range weapon coatings. So I was kind of at a disadvantage there, because it just works so much better. It's if you guys are aggroing it with some other lance or something, and I can just dragon piercer the shit out of a Zoh Shia or something, Yeah. So Doshugama is not very big, so I'm not really getting a lot of the the extra hit bonus. He's kind of fast and nimble, relatively so, and then I'm definitely taking for granted all the super end game armor and weapons that I've been using. So I was just it felt like it took forever. But I think that was everyone's comment, was man, that had to been 20 minutes, and then you look and you're oh, it wasn't that bad.
I mean, we're also used to our own builds, right? So we're okay, we're gonna destroy this thing in under 7 minutes. But what?
I'm a little embarrassed with my overall time after everything was said and done. But whatever.
I mean, it was the first run, and then also there was lots of different variables and
myself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, the biggest handicap was the not eating the ration, because
because you bow.
Because every time you draw your bow, it takes up probably 20% of your stamina. So if you shoot once and then dodge roll twice, your entire stamina bar is gone. And that was basically me the entire fight. It was trying to sneak in attacks between the Doshugama, his kind of aggressive nature. But if I had full stamina, I probably could have gotten that time down quite a bit. But I'm not an arenas guy usually, so lesson learned. And obviously weapons didn't really nerf us. I think everyone did really, really well, and I think that speaks to all of our core understanding of the game as a whole. So it was cool to see everyone succeed.
It also helped with bits of coaching here and there for for the people who didn't know what they were doing. So it was nice. What was your final time, Ryan?
11:52:77, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, nice. Yeah, from our end, it was it was interesting. It kind of looked like a Dark Souls fight, where every action that you did weighed down on your stamina bar. And it was shit.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, it was pretty intense.
Although I will say, my favorite part about it was getting those perfect dodges. You guys were
I was just gonna say that was you were putting on a show.
Oh my god.
Even though I didn't get the best time, I was definitely showing you my proficiency with the weapon at the very least. Yeah,
that was super cool. I'm actually I dabbled in the bow at the end of Monster Hunter Rise, so I'm after watching this, I was okay, that looks pretty fucking cool. I'm gonna I think I'm gonna start making my bow sets now.
Yeah, I got your back. I'll teach you my ways.
And then who did we have next? Was it Brian?
That's correct.
Yeah. So yeah, how was your experience, Brian? What did you use?
So I landed on Hunting Horn, which was definitely one of the weapons I am least proficient in. I think it'd be up there with something like Insect Glaive. And it was an experience for sure. I know we talked about it before, where going through it and actually doing the hunt in the moment, it feels like you're just dragging things on and it's taking forever. And I was definitely a little surprised with the overall completion time being not as bad as we all thought. And it was really helpful to have Max there attempting to coach and or not attempting, a coach coaching and me attempting to follow his directions. I did kind of have a slight issue as well, not as bad maybe as Ryan's ration situation, but I must have disabled my tutorial subscreen overlay, and normally you're supposed to be able to see your playable notes or your note combinations up in the top right hand corner, and I could not see them at all. So having to try to rely on color coordination, which I'm not very good at, and memorization from the panel of awesome judges here and coaches, I was trying my best to do things, but I think I just defaulted to like, okay, well, what's the one move that does the most amount of damage? And I liked the little overhead smash, and I was trying to do that as much as I could. But it was fun, and it did remind me of back when Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, or not Unite, Freedom 2, I believe, is when I did try out Hunting Horn, and I think Max might remember this. We used to have to carry around a little piece of paper where we wrote down our song list.
I love that.
So that you could know what it was or memorize it, because there wasn't really an easy way to see what they are unless you checked it before the hunt or during. So I do want to give that hopefully another shot in the future, and I might need to come back to Hunting Horn at some point. But time was okay. I think I ended with 12 minutes and 1 second for a C rank on my time completion.
Nice. It's funny. I'm like in the future, like far in the future, we look back at this episode and are like, dang, Brian's been a Hunting Horn main since Monster Hunter Wilds. Yeah.
yeah. This is when it happened.
Yeah.
Conversion.
It was pretty cool to see too, because we know Max is the Hunting Horn elitist, and he, like, even without being able to see like your note selection and stuff like that, he was like, oh no, you actually hit purple, go ahead and hit this combination of buttons for this color. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, he is so proficient.
I did cheat a little bit. I have the note. Okay. I had the note list up. I don't have all the different color combinations memorized for every horn.
Well, I'm still impressed. Though it was pretty freaking cool seeing. My whole thing was
It was like rally car driving. Like you got your guy in your ear telling you like slight left.
Yep.
Hard right.
What are you doing?
45
what
45
are
left.
You doing? You're not doing your turn correctly.
Yeah, you're talking about that video.
You weren't breaking it.
Calm down.
Whatever he's saying.
Samir. That video's too good.
What is he say breaking? There's like a specific word that he uses that sounds. It's just like really funny in that context.
Breaking the car or destroying the car, something silly.
Oh, such a good video. But yeah. Max, I believe you went next, and what did you use?
I got the Insect Glaive. This is the first hunt in my monster hunting career, I think, that I can remember in any Monster Hunter game that I've used an Insect Glaive. And oh boy,
I think you're sending me a Kinsect right now. There's like a fly trying to attack me, trying to get my extract.
Yeah.
So I feel like the Insect Glaive has a very high skill floor.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of, even just like getting the extracts feels really weird, and I don't know if it's because this is like a really crappy Kinsect where it just feels so slow. Like I guess I'm just used to the traditional like send the Kinsect out and then bring them back. But now in Wilds, there's like a charged Kinsect shot, and then you can like do like a when you're in your focus mode, you can send out like the Kinsect in a little arc in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
So like I feel like there's other ways of getting extract faster that I wasn't really thinking about in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Also, in retrospect, I totally forgot to take the max potion, so I was like,
you me both, brother.
We were all making.
Yeah.
It's also like I feel like Insect Glaive feels very different to all the other weapons. Like I feel like I'm a lot more comfortable with like the grounded weapons. Like if you go to like Switch Axe or Hunting Horn, you're on the ground, and Insect Glaive you're in the air. it's like in Generations Ultimate. Like you have all the different styles, and then there's like aerial style. where it's just like you're up in the air and your perspective on the fight is so much different, where it's like, when should I be vaulting? When should I be on the ground? When do I use my big super move? But that's like the optimal damage, is just to build your extracts and then spam that move as much as possible. So yeah, I'm like, I did okay with my time. Like the entire time though, I was just like, get this out of my hand and give me a hunting horn.
Get this man a hunting horn.
I'm confident I could get an A rank first try with a hunting horn.
Yeah.
But Insect Glaive is not it for me.
You know, it's funny you say that too, because I was feeling really good about going in with Bo, and I didn't even have the best time. So, you know, who knows?
I know.
No. Get this man a horn.
I know.
Next episode, Max puts his money where his mouth is.
I'll do it right now.
Man.
But not right now because it's late.
Yeah. And then I went ahead and did the heavy bowgun, and I haven't really invested that much time in a heavy bowgun. I've made a build before and stuff like that, but mainly being a charge blade main, cycling through all your different shots and stuff like that definitely was very cumbersome for me. And it's always that way for me. It's just anytime you have to get in the menus, like, it is just tough when you have a Doshugama like screaming at you with that like sonic pitch sound, knowing that it's like, oh, you're gonna die. But yeah, it was interesting. Like, I knew the general gameplay idea of heavy bowgun going in. I understood that your reticle will tell you exactly the optimal distance for your shot type. So I knew that going in. I had some coaching from Brian during the gameplay that you'll see, where he taught me about the wyvern fire or something like that.
Wyvern heart.
Wyvern heart. That's where you press the circle for your special ammo, and you get like this Gatling gun. And I think that actually was the turning point in my run for me, because once I had a whole bunch of wounds all over the Doshugama's, like, I guess, like, face and stuff like that, and then I started ripping him a new one when I started getting that. It was pretty nice. Felt really good. It was tough. Like, I'm used to being up close in the people's face and then being able to guard. I know I have a guard point. I was not willing to risk it at that point. So I was just like, all right, just go back to what I know, use my iframes, whatever iframes I have. I got a couple good dodges in there, but I was nowhere like Ryan doing like special cancelable dodges or some shit like that into cool stuff. It was more me screaming and trying to hold back the tears while loading up my gun. But it was a fun experience. Like, it was really cool seeing all of us try to attack this hunt in different ways with all our different limitations and, you know, different variables. That's kind of what the spirit of the roguelike hunter episode was about in our last episode, Palibros episode 8. Check it out. And I think I love doing the wheel because, you know, we get to try different weapons that we're not really accustomed to, and I get to see like everyone else use weapons that they're not accustomed to, and like seeing Max do Insect Glaive, which I've never even looked at. I remember it was like introduced in one of the games, and I was like, I don't know, it's weird, it's a bug, it's a stick. Like, give me a giant sword. Ooh, there's a charge blade that has like a spinning axe thing. That's fucking dope. But seeing the way this thing animated and him flipping and dipping everywhere, like doing like 360 dunks and shit on the monster, I'm like, man, I think I want to pick up Insect Glaive because that looks fucking cool. And then seeing Brian fumbling around with his horn, I'm just like, that looks like a nightmare, but I kind of want to try it too because it looks very interesting. And I know I will have we should have a Max's smooth jazz class at some point for hunting horn.
I like it,
because that would be fun to do all hunting horn like hunt while it's our first lesson against like a fucking Zoh Shia or something.
Do it.
But yeah,
I know, Pat, you're talking about Insect Glaive flipping and dipping, and then made me immediately think like Insect Glaive is like the Yoshimitsu of Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
In
definitely.
Tekken, if you're looking at Tekken, it's like there's everybody else,
And then there's Yoshimitsu.
and he's playing a different game than everybody else.
Oh yeah, he's playing a totally different game, just off in his own world, doing whatever, flipping and dipping and spinning and shit. But yeah.
How was your time?
Oh, my time. I actually got the fastest time. Thank you very much.
Yeah, whatever.
Ooh.
Tough being the best.
It is tough being the best. Yeah, I got the fastest time of 9 minutes 40 seconds, and I believe some change. But yeah, it was good. I felt like I was going really slow as well. But I really want to attribute the turning point to getting a whole bunch of wounds and then getting that wyvern heart just going, because that I think from memory it like put him down, and then he was just chilling there for like a good like minute, even after I was like emptied out. I was like, okay. And so that was cool. I did some cluster shots. Oh no, did I do cluster or was it focus shots?
Both.
Okay.
We saw both. In the cluster, we were impressed by the damage.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't even know what was the damage you guys were seeing. I was too focused on not dying.
It was like 50 a piece, and there was like 6 or 7 or 8.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the one where I was like, oh, it's a cluster. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. It's like a mortar strike.
And you like aimed
landed
it wrong,
both
and then
of
you
them.
walked right into it, and you're just like, hell yeah, dude.
If I don't know what I'm doing, it's gonna work. So yeah, that was really interesting. Yeah, Heavy Bowgun is such a different world from being a Blade Master, but I remember having some fun with it. So, and I've been interested in trying it again, so I might be trying that. Might be trying Bow, because Bow looks really fucking cool. The way you're fucking spinning out of like last minute dodges and stuff looks very adept style from Generations. And then yeah, once I understand like the Kinsec stuff, that looks pretty cool. I like these like the Insect Glaive and the Hunting Horn are very kind of up my alley with like how obscure they kind of are in terms of gameplay. But yeah, it was super fun. And yeah, I enjoyed watching you guys and reacting to you guys in real time for this challenge quest. I can't wait to do it for the next one.
Yeah, I appreciate all of the oohs and the ahs in my turn, but maybe I don't appreciate you. You're like, oh, he's actually good.
Oh my god, he's actually doing something.
Wait, he's kicking butt.
You learned. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, go ahead and post in the YouTube comments below as well what your time was doing this challenge quest, and maybe if you used your main weapon or you used a new weapon, go ahead and hit that hit the comments, tell us what your time was and how you like the challenge for this very first challenge quest. And that brings us to the end of this episode of the Palibros. Brian, Max, and Ryan, I want to thank you guys again for coming out for another episode of the show. And we're having so much fun out here making all these episodes and doing these fun challenges and stuff like that. Hopefully that comes across to you guys. And if you like what we do, please go ahead, like, subscribe, share, rate us on all the podcast services. It would be great for our discoverability and help us with the algorithm, and just help us keep making more fun content for you guys. And again, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a blast. We're over 2 months. We're at episode 9. It was just pretty crazy. I believe that's longer running than my first attempt at a podcast. So, and I'm definitely having a lot more fun with it. So thank you guys again for all the support, and thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show, and until next time, happy hunting.
Get this pillow out of here. Ah!